Hello everybody, and today we are launching a very small rocket. Now, there's no intended mission, it's just how far can we go, what planet can we get to. So this rocket has only the smallest fuel tanks, and it's very tiny as you can see. So first we're going to go into orbit, hopefully, and then we're going to go into a solar orbit, hopefully, and then see what planet we could go to. Okay, so I think there's 4 stages before the satellite thing. Now we have this stage, and then that's not good, So you just turn off your engine when your rocket's upside down and you'll be fine when this happens. And then, yeah. Now, I could have probably gotten even further if this hadn't happened, but it did, and so nothing I can do. And now, we need to keep going up to go into orbit. And that exploded when we decoupled it, I don't know why. Now, after this, we have the one vacuum engine, and then we have an ion engine. Okay, so we're in a weird orbit because the rocket couldn't point in the right direction. So, I was trying to get it to be more of a normal orbit, but I couldn't make it work with the amount of fuel that we had. So I just went with the polar orbit. Okay, so this part took a while, this burn, but not as long as some of the later burns. So I shall speed it up, as you can see. Okay, after I extend the solar panels, we have the 2 Kerbals there, who look very happy, because they're going to another planet for the first time. Probably won't be able to get back, but that's their problem. Okay, we finished that. Now we are in an orbit, but not really, because that thing is too low. So we need to point away from Kerbin. But then I gave up because it wasn't working. And it's not too low, so it will probably still work. So we can time warp. And then we can try using the engine, but it doesn't help. And we can just make a simple maneuver with those to get into a proper orbit. Okay, so now I can point at the maneuver and I can time warp. And now I can turn on the engine. Okay, that's done. Now I have a much better orbit, as you can see. Now I can add the maneuver to go to another planet and enter solar orbit. We're probably going to go to Jool just because it has the most gravity. It will be the easiest to enter orbit of. So that's where we're going to go, because I think we have enough fuel to go there. So we'll time warp till we're in the right spot. That took a long time. Okay, still time warping. Okay, that's good enough. Now, if we add the maneuver here and we make it right, then we can enter more of a normal orbit like all the other planets, instead of the crazy orbit that we currently have. So I'm going to try to do that. And yeah, not much to talk about. Though I'm seeing if I can how far I can get on this one maneuver. Though it's going to be hard to go to another planet if our orbits aren't the same, so I'm going to have to... There, that seems pretty good. A decent orbit, we'll use that. So we'll point at the maneuver, then we'll time warp. Time warping. Still time warping. As you can see, we are now leaving, not yet, but that's Kerbal, and we're going to, like, leave it once we're done time warping. Okay, now we can activate the ion engine, and then I've sped this part up by like 1,000,000, not 1,000,000, and then I edited it because it would take way too long to be in a video. It took over 10 minutes. And then now we can delete the maneuver because it's completed. Okay, now we have to make our maneuver to enter a Jool transfer orbit. So that's what we have to do next. So I have to, like, add a maneuver. And then I can use the maneuver things to get it in the right spot. I don't have to get too close to the surface of Jool with this maneuver, because I can do that in the next maneuver that I do. Because that saves you so much fuel later. Okay, now time warping again. Okay, and now we can use this engine. Now this burn took half an hour, so I skipped it in the editing magic thing. So now I can make sure it's perfect. And then I can delete the maneuver, and now here I'm just looking to make sure it goes just as close as it possibly can. And that's probably about there. Yeah. Okay, so from there we have to add another maneuver just to get even closer to Jool, because this will let us save a lot of fuel when we want to enter Jool orbit. So we can do that. Okay, still, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so now we can enter. It's not going to be like the same orbit as all the moons, so you won't be able to go to any of them too easily. So we're just going to Jool orbit, hopefully. Now we can time warp. Okay, almost done. Okay, now we can turn on the engines. This only takes like 1 minute. Now we can turn on the engines. Ion engines look so cool though. Now, there is one problem that I didn't think about. Solar panels, because they worked fine close to the sun. However, near Jool, they don't work as well because they're farther from the sun, so they get less light. Which means, and because my ion engine needs power, I can't use it at full power. I have, this burn is short, so I don't need it. However, here, for the orbit burn, for that one, I won't be able to run the engines at full power. Okay, so we can turn on the engine. Okay, and, no, not just testing to see what power I can run it at by looking up there and seeing if the thing is positive or negative, the amount of power that I'm losing. Okay, so now I've entered orbit, so that's cool. The video is done. Thanks for watching. I will see you on my next Kerbal video. Goodbye.